Those of you who are able to worship with us regularly on Sunday mornings know that throughout Advent, we have been exploring the repeated refrain of "fear not" that occurs in the Christmas story. We've looked at what "fear not" meant to Zechariah and Joseph, Mary, and the shepherds. But it's time to get personal. What does "fear not" mean to you? I can think of no better night than Christmas Eve to imagine our lives without fear. Fear is so pervasive in our culture and society. So what do we as Christ followers have to say about fear? On the night when the light of the world came into darkness, and the darkness did not overcome it. I've been thinking about this over the past several weeks, you might imagine. And as I've thought about it, I have come up with an acrostic for what "fear not" means to me. And for those of you who like to write these kinds of things down, there will be copies of this on the table as you leave tonight. And perhaps as I share with you what "fear not" means for me, you'll discover a little bit more about what it means for you. So fear not. F, following faith. E, embracing Immanuel. A, anticipating awe. R, releasing regret. N, nixing negativity. O, opening ourselves. And T, trusting today. Fear not. So F, following faith. Following faith means we let our faith lead us and not our fears. It is so easy to let fear lead our lives, isn't it? The problem is that fear does not lead us anywhere. It leaves us right where we are, if not 2 or 3 steps back. To follow faith rather than fear is to say, I don't know all the answers. I don't know what the future holds. I don't know what life will look like now, once this person is gone, once this job has changed. I don't know what all of this will mean for my life, but I am forging ahead anyway. You see, faith is less about what you can see ahead of you and more about what you feel deep within you. It's a trusting of your gut. It's a trusting of God. E, embracing Immanuel. Immanuel is the name Joseph is given in his dream to name Jesus. Immanuel, which means God with us, means to me that we just accept the fact that God is with us. No questions asked. Whether life is going great or whether life is throwing curveballs at us right and left, Immanuel, God is with us. To embrace this idea of God being with us is to realize that it's not just me on this journey, and it's not just you on your journey, it is all of us together. Embracing Immanuel means sticking it out even when the going gets tough. Because just because God is with us doesn't mean it will always feel like we are with God. Really, embracing Immanuel is what Christmas Eve is all about. It's about God, the one who created us all with love, choosing to come down to earth as a human being to teach us all how to love. And really, if we're not embracing Immanuel, I don't know what we're doing as a community of faith. because to be in this embrace is to be in community, and to know that we do not walk this journey of life and faith alone. A, anticipating awe. This is probably my favorite part of Fear Not. It reminds me most of the angelic messengers who proclaimed fear not to Zechariah and Joseph, to Mary and the shepherds, because, there's something about an angelic presence that creates awe and wonder. I wouldn't know. I don't think I've ever been visited by an angel, but I can just imagine. When we are poised for awe, when we are prepared to see spectacular things, guess what? We see spectacular things. Just as my husband Damon and I look forward to going to zoo lights every year, and this year we added on Blossoms of Light at the Botanical Gardens, we don't go to those events thinking we'll just walk around with our heads down. We go to be awed. We go to have our eyes lifted up towards all of those beautiful lights. We go to feel like we're kids again, kind of. Because really, what is more awe-inspiring than thousands and thousands of Christmas lights when you're a kid? It's magical. But if we don't anticipate awe, if we don't expect to see wondrous things around us, we probably won't see them. And if we're not seeing wondrous things, we're probably seeing things that make us afraid. What kind of life would you rather live? One of worry or one of wonder? R, releasing regret. This is a powerful one because we all have regrets. We all have things in our past that we wish we did not have. Skeletons in the closet, so to speak. Whether it's something we said or didn't say, something we did or didn't do, we have regrets, and that's normal. But dwelling on them is not necessary because it keeps us recoiled into fear. Because we're always worrying about whether we'll make that same mistake again. Or we worry about, all of the what ifs. You know the ones. What if I had done this? What if she had said that? What if this situation had turned out differently? What if, what if, what if? What if this Christmas Eve we just let bygones be bygones and moved into the future releasing regret, letting it go, realizing that we are not perfect and we're never gonna be, and it's okay. Realizing that there is nothing we have ever done that can make God love us less, and there's nothing we can ever do to make God love us more. God just flat out loves us. And when we release our regrets, you know what happens? We also stop blaming others for their past mistakes. We become more forgiving. That leads me to N. Nixing negativity. Now, this is one of those things that we just wish other people would do, right? Stop being so negative, we say. But we don't always see it as easily in ourselves, this negativity, do we? I mean, we complain about little things that are negative, about people and experiences, and the problem is that we do this so much it can become habit-forming, and therefore can start to feel normal. What would it look like for us to start becoming consciously aware of the negative things that we say to others, even that we say to ourselves, even the negative things that we think to ourselves? What if we erred on the side of positivity, even when everything is going negative? Now, maybe that's Pollyanna-ish, but if you think about it, how do you feel when you're around someone who is negative all the time? I mean, it's almost as if their negativity is coming out of some insecurity, some fear. If we nix negativity in our lives and always seek to find something positive in a situation and name that out loud, can you imagine what that would do for eradicating fear in our culture? Can you imagine if senators and representatives had to always say something positive, even when they're campaigning against an opponent? Or what if we had to find something positive in an opposing party or in a differing viewpoint from our own? Nixing negativity actually keeps us from fixating on fear, because negativity is breeding ground for fear. And if you take away the negativity, fear cannot thrive. O, opening ourselves. This is the essence of the life of faith. Opening ourselves to God, to others, to new experiences, to our feelings, to vulnerability, to healing, and to hope. When we're closed off, we remain in a state of fear because we don't want to let anything or anyone into our lives that might change things for us or that might hurt us. But when we open ourselves to whatever experience is before us, without placing a valence on it, meaning without calling it positive or negative, but just calling it what it is, an experience, then we might grow in our tolerance of situations that used to make us fearful. Because I think usually we feel fear when something about ourselves feels threatened, whether it's our ego or our image, our way of doing things, or our lifestyle, our beliefs. If we stop letting ourselves feel threatened by other people's comments or thoughts, because they are just comments and thoughts, by the way, not truth, then we open ourselves to whatever may come. It's true that vulnerability can be painful at times. It can hurt. But the flip side is living kind of a numb and detached life. I think Jesus, through his life and death and resurrection, taught us that feeling things full on, even when they hurt, even when we suffer, is really the only way to live authentically. T, trusting today. Can you trust today, this moment? Can you trust that on this Christmas Eve, God wants to break through your life in new ways that maybe you can't even imagine right now? Can you trust that what happened yesterday has happened, and that what will happen tomorrow is going to happen, and you cannot add 1 hour to your life by worrying about it? If there was ever a day in the church year to trust today, it is Christmas Eve. All Mary and Joseph had before them was this bright-eyed little boy. And like any new parents, I imagine, they just took it one day at a time. Maybe you're not having some grand mystical experience on this Christmas Eve this year. Maybe things about the holidays aren't resonating with you, but that's okay. Faith is not a sprint, right? It's a marathon. And today, while a very special day, is just one day. And as Jesus grew up, that's how he lived his life and ministry. One day at a time, one person at a time. And I think there's no faster way to eliminate fear than to trust today. What will be, and God is with you, with us, Immanuel. So, follow faith, embrace Immanuel, anticipate awe, release regret, nix negativity, open yourself, and trust today.